Hey everyone, we're back again with another episode of Three Uniques. I'm Brenda Rigney, and I'm pleased to introduce you to Steph Corker. Hey Steph,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm stoked to be here. This is fun.
I'm excited to have you here too. So for everyone that doesn't know Steph, Steph is the founder and people consultant at the Corker Collective here in Vancouver. However, you're living up at Whistler right now.
Yeah, so we were founded in Vancouver, founded off of a dream that I wanted to do many things. And that was 6 years ago. And COVID hit, and I moved to my cabin just south of Whistler. And I live in the woods now.
Awesome. And you have a new puppy?
I have a new puppy. He's very trying. I'm sure there's lots of lessons to learn from a new puppy about life, and I'm learning them all. Yeah.
Awesome. And talk to us about the Corker Collective. So what is it all about? Because
Yeah, so
I kind of know, but some people may not know.
totally. I think what's really fun is the business began as Steph Corker Inc., which was like an incorporation done overnight. How do I launch a business, basically? And within that first year, I was able to recruit some people to join me and launched an official business with my brother. And we launched our company name was the Corker Collective with a dream that we would be able to bring people on board and let them live their best and biggest lives as we wanted to. And we didn't quite know what that looked like. So we shortened it and we called ourselves the Corker Co. for 5 years. And as life and dreams and goals happened, Matt, my brother, has gone off to have a baby. And it was the perfect time to really expand the business. And we went from being the Corker Co. as a recruiting agency, doing some leadership development work, to a full collective. And now we have contract recruiters, we have coaches, we have leadership development consultants. We've just brought on a DEI expert, which is very near and dear to my heart. We partner with Pride at Work Canada. And so we're doing a lot of work in the LGBTQ2+ space. And it's so much more than me. It's not just me at all anymore. And it's a collective of people that care about humans, and they're excellent and experts at what they do. And they have space in the game.
So awesome. So awesome. And there's something else you kind of do. Let's see, what is it? Something involving running, biking, swimming.
Well, you know what? I'd like to just declare, and maybe this is the place. There's something that I did.
Okay.
And I started the business so that I could race triathlon professionally. And I wanted to, chase some sweaty goals in the world of triathlon and the sport of Ironman. And COVID hit. I had some health issues last year, and I haven't done an Ironman in almost 2 years, which is really crazy. It's the longest in the last decade. And I just realized that I'm going to swim and bike and run for the rest of my life, probably longer, hopefully faster. But I don't know that I'll ever do an Ironman again. So I just identify as an athlete who has done 25 Ironmans.
25. Wow. That's amazing. So good.
It's been a chapter of life that's probably closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're here to share your three uniques with us. So I'm excited. Load me up. Tell me what they are.
Gosh. Yeah, I've been mulling this over. So my three uniques: I am relentlessly enthusiastic. I really believe in possibility, and I am so imperfect.
Love it. Okay, let's take it to the top. That's number one.
So relentless enthusiasm, I think it's partially ingrained as an entrepreneur. I maybe just a kid. I mean, I look back and I always wanted to create something, and I wanted to create something and have people join. And with that, it often means that I'm trying to like turn a boat that other people don't necessarily want to be on, or change opinions. And I feel like my puppy. I feel like I am relentless with so much joy. And I've been told no so many times, and I have failed so many times. And I look back and I only look back with joy. Like I'm like, gosh, that was a horrible time. And I did it. And like, I've sent 10 emails and they haven't replied. I should send an 11th. Like, it just doesn't phase me, the rejection, I guess, of it. And the opposite of rejection to me is just this finding joy in a relentless pursuit.
Amazing. Lovely. Let's hear number two.
So number two, I really believe in possibility. And I think it started with me believing in other people. And at some point, there was a moment in time that I had to start believing in myself in the same way. And I think this is all cliche and fun until you really, look yourself and look your life in the mirror, and until you look your dreams in the mirror and say, like, what am I really willing to do to go after what I want to go after? And, I had a moment, because my number one item on my bucket list 10 years ago was that I would qualify and race Ironman Hawaii. And I had not even run more than 10 kilometers back then. Like, I had done nothing. And to think that I was going to race Ironman Hawaii felt so outlandish and so crazy. And my big goal was to do that by 2020, which is this year. And it just feels really crazy that here I am in 2020, like, retiring from the sport, having raced around the world and raced in Hawaii several times. And I just think there's like a relentless or a super outlandish belief in possibility that I've come to have about myself, but I certainly have about you.
Nice. Thank you. Has there been somebody that's like been a big influence for you, like a coach or a mentor that's like really pushed you to think about possibility? So like you said earlier, so it's not a cliche.
Well, I think I have an inner circle that's really tight and super positive. And if you didn't believe, you were not in that inner circle. And it got to a point where, like, I wouldn't share my goals with everyone, because if you didn't believe, like, there was no oxygen for that. Undeniably, Matt Corker, he believes in like shattering the status quo. Just because no one else has done it doesn't mean you can't do it. And just because no one else has done it doesn't mean it can't be done on your terms or your way. So he's been really phenomenal. But then on the flip side, I've worked with the same coach for a long time, a sweaty coach. I worked with an executive coach for a long time. And I think having a coach in your back pocket, as you would know, has really made a difference. And the coaches don't necessarily dream the same way. They're the steadfast, everyday consistency, like the metronome. And I think the metronome is really special, to have people in our lives that it doesn't need to be fireworks every day. It just needs to be consistent. And yeah, that's been really special.
Awesome. I like that. Yeah, I tend to be that way with my clients. I just show up the same way, every day. But then there's off days too, right? So that's the challenge sometimes of being that coach, but that's awesome. And your third unique?
My third unique, I jotted down as imperfect, because I am so imperfect. I am, the pottery that has the crack in the middle, and it's my favorite bowl. And I never know how to follow a recipe properly, partly because I read it too quickly and partly because I just don't want to. And I'm so not the details person. And I think that, just honoring and acknowledging the imperfect is so much better than sitting in it feeling like I have all these cracks. And the beautiful poem, like, as Leonard said, where there is a crack, the light comes through. And so I think I've fought so hard against my cracks, and now I really I own it. I relish how imperfect I am.
Yeah, embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. What's an unusual habit or an absurd thing that you love?
Oh gosh, you are really opening the kimono, because I have a lot of them that are very tightly held to me.
You could just like open it slightly. You don't have to
Open it slightly.
Yeah.
So I always make my coffee the night before. I'm a Bodum drinker. I prepare my coffee the night before. The water's in the kettle so that when the dog wakes up, the kettle goes on and I have coffee ready. I also make my water bottles for the morning sweat the night before. There's a lot of preparation details at my evening routine I take very seriously.
Right.
I don't know if that's really absurd though. Just something that like not many people know about, I guess.
Prepping water bottles. I mean, when my kids were a lot younger, I used to do that like with snacks and lunches and all those things.
Yeah.
Like, ruthless about it, making sure they're all lined up, ready to go.
Right.
Now I'm like, whatever, you're a teenager.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say I'm like pretty maniacally organized, and my evening routine is pretty sacred.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Something, have you been binge watching anything over like sort of our COVID 2020 on Netflix or Amazon Prime or anything like that?
So, full disclosure, I don't watch anything. I don't even know how to turn a TV on. I there's little snippets of things that I've tried to watch because I've heard about so many interesting things. I am a super podcast junkie. I really like books, and I just got into audiobooks, but I don't watch anything on a screen.
Cool. Yeah, I watch a few things every now and then, usually with my kids, but I've gotten into Audible this year too.
Mhm.
I love Audible and podcasts because I can, it is a little bit of the multitasking, but you can do some things either driving places or prepping dinners or whatever like that. And you can get, I love that too, just like sort of absorbing into another person's perspective on things.
Yeah, I feel like a sponge. I'm really obsessed. I really enjoy podcasts and books. I didn't think I'd like audiobooks, but I do. Definitely driving up and down the sea to sky. Um, I fall asleep in front of a TV and it's just not my jam.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, that's all I got for today, Steph.
I
And
love
just
it.
a quick little snippet to hear about your three uniques. So thanks for being on today. I really appreciate your time and sharing your three uniques with everybody.
I love that you're doing this. Thanks for giving us pause for thought about what makes us perfectly unique.
Yeah, absolutely. And for everyone that's listening, just remember there's like 7.5 billion people on this planet. Somebody needs what you've got. So get out there and start sharing it. We really need to know what your three uniques are. Take care, Steph.
Love it.